We're live.
Yeah, we're back.
X, YouTube, Rumble, about to be live on Rockfin. Second show of the year. Did one a little bit earlier just to test to make sure everything's still working right.
Good.
Ian is joining me this time. Happy New Year, Ian.
Happy New Year, Brad.
Thank you. Have you made any resolutions?
Yeah, but I can't
They're
tell
private?
them. They're private. If I don't, if
Won't
I
come
tell you,
true if you.
They won't come true. They won't come true.
Right. Yeah, I never reveal mine.
Yeah, you never reveal your resolutions because then people will find out what they are.
Yeah, you're just bragging. It's like, I don't want to brag about achieving all of them.
Yeah.
It's like quietly. It's like when you make a donation anonymously.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'll tell you, my New Year's resolution is to be able to bench press 1,000 pounds.
Well, you're what, a quarter away there? 10th of the way there? I don't know. Where you at right now?
Probably around 215, maybe max.
Have you tried just going straight to 1,000 just to
200.
see if you can do it?
I'm gonna work on it, dude. I think if I think really hard, do a lot of positive.
It's mostly brain power.
Yeah, if I, what's that book, The Secret? Maybe if I read The Secret, get a little Tony Robinson going in my head.
Yeah.
I think I could maybe the 1,000 pounds if I just think of it as 1,000 feathers.
Right. Yeah. You know, put
1,000 pounds
David,
of feathers. If it was 1,000 pounds of feathers.
It's all in what you perceive it to be. It's like walking across coal that's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 1,000 feathers, then it feels nice. So I think you should just go right in. Have you ever seen those people in the gym who they're bench pressing, but they don't have a spotter, and it's too much weight, and the bar starts to go down, and it's like, and or maybe it crushes their sternum, and they end up dying right there in the gym.
Growing up, it was always like you didn't put the collars on so that you could do the little dip and slide the weights off.
Yeah, that's what we did too. But you're just stuck though if you have the collars on there.
Yeah. So you leave the collars off so you can go, I'm bailing.
And if you're like a really hot chick who's been filming herself, none of the guys are going to come over and help you because they're afraid you'll get accused.
They'll get arrested for rape.
Right. So there you go. That's what happens. I've been trying to get people to stare at me and gawk at me making TikTok videos in the gym, and I've yet to have anybody do it yet. It's very embarrassing.
Well, have you accused them yet?
I'm working up to it.
You have to start.
Yeah. I'm like, you didn't wipe off your chair. I kind of start there.
No. Accuse them of looking at you. So, excuse me, can I ask you?
No, get your thumb out of my ass.
Get your thumb out of my ass.
Right.
You're grabbing their thumb and putting it in your butt.
Then I throw myself down. I flop like LeBron.
Yeah.
And I accuse him of punching me. All right. Glad to be back. Glad to have you back to start off the new year.
Man.
New Year started off with an explosion, a suicide, a death of a president.
Light stuff.
Very,
Real
very
light.
typical new. Every New Year's Day, it's like you eat some cornbread, black-eyed peas, and you read about the mass murder that just happened. And that's not where I want to start today. Where I actually want to start today is with some Canada news. As Justin Trudeau announced his resignation yesterday after nearly a decade as Canada's top gay. Going to be floating off into the ocean away to, I don't know where he's going to go.
It's going back to Cuba.
And that's exactly what he said. Well, it's a reference to what he said when he was making his announcement that when he revealed what his biggest regret was during his time as prime minister, which was not enough blackface, he said, and never living up to his father's dream of turning Canada into the world's next Cuba.
It's too cold. It's too cold.
Cuba is?
Cuba. No, Canada. It's a whole country of cold. The whole country's cold. There's no place warm in the entire country. It's gross. You don't want to live in Canada. I mean,
I've never been to Canada. Well, here's the thing about Canada is all these people who have planned to go up to Canada to escape Trump's persecution, like these liberal or progressive guys who that was their go-to destination, they now have to put their plans on hold because until they know who the new prime minister is, they're not going to know if they're going to be able to use a women's bathroom up there or not. So
that's very important, yeah.
Got a comment from David here real quick.
Oh.
That let's see. David says after watching the last stream and the monologue about Trump tower bomber, I had a vision of someone spending months working on the Perfect Manifesto. And that's interesting that the email ended up in a spam folder, never to be seen. Yeah, see, that's what I think about that. Is I think most people would. I think the only way that email gets seen on the day that it's sent and read within the time frame that it's described that it needs to be read within is if the person it's being sent to is exactly who's supposed to get it and showcase it to the world.
Right.
He didn't send it to Joe Rogan, and this guy was the one who happened to get it. This is the guy who was supposed to get it.
You talking about Sean Ryan?
No, I'm talking about the other guy, the Army Intel guy who had the email.
Yeah.
Which the email, and I'm not going to go through all this again. I went through all this in the last show, but basically, if we accept, I don't accept it all as truth, but if we accept everything at face value that this story has told us, then what's the guy's name? Matthew, whatever. He's got a weird last name. Matthew something Burger. If we accept the entire story, then Matthew something Burger, who killed himself in this Cybertruck, basically said, I'd rather blow my brains out than sound like UFO whistleblower David Grush. I mean, that's the most concise summation of that letter when you combine it with his actions. Because he said he didn't want to sound, he said, you can't talk about the UFO stuff. People will just think you're a talking head. I'd rather blow my brains out.
Yeah, people like a spectacle. I want to point out that no one's talking about UFOs. They're just, are they?
No, he wrote that in that letter.
I know, but did he accomplish what he wanted?
Well, it seemed to be that what he wanted was, since he had no evidence of anything that he was claiming, and which whoever wrote that letter said that in that letter, that the way to convince people that he's telling the truth is to show how serious he is by blowing his head off.
Right. Yeah.
In lieu of evidence.
Yeah. That didn't work with any of my crazy exes when they threatened to do harm to themselves if I didn't convince me at all that they were probably right in their point of view. It's just a weird thing. Like you say, you have to believe me or I'll kill myself.
Well, right. Well, I think that he was, and for those who listen to the earlier show, sorry to rehash it, but I think that if I'm going to believe that he wrote that letter and what they tell us happened, the explanation that I can see as plausible is that this is a guy who's been deployed, probably seen combat. He's been to Fort Bragg. He's been through a lot of traumatic situations as in the military. It's plausible to me that somebody convinced him that those things were real, that he truly believes that we're under threat, that this country's under threat, and that he thought that it was his patriotic duty to sacrifice his life to save this country by blowing his head off to raise the alarm bells to it. That's the exact same thing that people do when they go into the military to fight for war. They go fight in a war to fight against an enemy that they've only been told about but haven't actually seen, just like this guy said, for the sake of protecting their country and their family. It's the exact same thing, just applied to this. He probably thought he was doing his patriotic duty, if I accept that story.
Yeah.
We're going to have a guest here in one quick second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll be here in 1 second. So Dana mentioned it here in the chat real quick. The thing I want to talk real quick about the New Orleans story, I'm not going to go into the details or anything that everybody's already talked about. I just want to focus on the tech aspect of this story and call attention without any blowing of brains out to people about something that I think is going to become very, very popular in the not so distant future. The dude who committed the terrorist attack in New Orleans, I don't know his name, I don't care. Here's what he did. According to the story, he stayed in an Airbnb prior to the attack. He used a truck that he rented using the Turo car rental app to conduct the attack, and he wore a pair of Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses that record video and stream.
Wait, he also wore them?
Yes, he wore them during the
New
attack.
Orleans guy and the wait, I'm confused.
No. So the guy, it wasn't the guy who was.
I know
in
the
Las
New Orleans
Vegas.
guy. Wait, I get so confused.
No, both the New Orleans guy and the guy in Las Vegas got their cars using the Turo
Right.
app.
Were they both wearing Meta glasses too?
No, only
Okay,
the guy
just
in
the
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
okay.
the guy in New Orleans.
right.
And so with that, I would say that if you have a pair of those Meta
Don't
glasses,
ever come up to me if you have a pair of those.
don't go in
glasses.
any public crowds with those things on anymore. You'll be identified as a terror suspect immediately by the FBI, probably from here on out.
And you're also fucking weird for wearing those.
Yeah, what do
things.
you? Yeah,
I'm sorry,
stop
what the
stop
fuck
leaning
are you
your
doing?
head
That's
under
some weird.
the
That's some
toilet.
weirdo shit. That's like it's like what in the back of comics when I was a kid, you could buy like sea monkeys and X-ray glasses. That's what they did. They just made the X-ray glasses real, and now a bunch of weirdos walk. There's no reason to be wearing Meta glasses that I can really think of. You're a fucking weirdo if you have them. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's
no,
my-
it
that's
seems
my
like
opinion.
I think that's probably the best outcome is that you're a little bit of a weirdo. The
Yeah.
worst possibility is that you're trying to live stream a murder,
Yeah. Be a
which
normal
he didn't have it
person and
streaming.
Walk around with your iPad. Just hold your iPad up. And
Yeah,
record
well, you
things.
can't do hands free, so you have to drive with your knees if you're
Yeah.
going to be doing that. But I don't know why it made me think of this the other day. But I went in the LA Fitness gym the other day, and I walked into the stall, and it was the strangest thing. The stall doors are usually high enough to, unless you're like Shaquille O'Neal, to block your eyes. The stall was like I walk in, and the stall's like right here, and
So
I
you
look
could,
over.
Like, see a dude. You could just see his eyes.
No, I mean, fortunately, there was nobody in there, but you could just look. It's the least private bath. Might as well be out in the middle of the gym.
In Europe, the stalls go all the way to the wall. You're going to like a little room, right?
Yeah, you should get complete privacy, floor to ceiling.
In the United States, they put up like 5 pieces of wood. They put a couple of brackets together, and they leave like 6-inch gaps. And they go, "There's your privacy."
Yeah. Every time I go in to this bathroom in LA Fitness, same guy, Meta Ray sunglasses on, standing in that stall, just waiting.
I want to give the trans people their privacy.
That's what he says. And I'm like, I don't know why you're saying that to any of us that come in here. So getting back to the story, then we'll bring our guest on. The thing that stood out to me, and I want you guys to watch out for this, is that Turo app. So Turo, if you haven't used it before, it's a peer-to-peer. It's like the Airbnb of car rental. People can rent out their cars, and people rate them and whatnot, and whatever. They're not the only app that you can do that on, but this app has been mentioned in both of these stories. It hasn't really been the focus of it, but it's just been kind of mentioned as a detail that's not super important, but they want us to know about. And then what really stood out to me is that when Biden first made statements about both of these attacks, he mentioned that both of the people involved used Turo to get
Should
the cars.
we buy stock in Turo? Is that what you're
This
telling
is
me?
exactly what I'm leading to. This is not financial advice, okay? Not at all. But in 2020, nobody knew what the Zoom app was. No one. I started to see the Zoom app just pop up in a very similar manner, although not a negative story like this, in mainstream news articles. I'm like, why are they talking about this app randomly? It was a native ad. And then Biden, during his campaign, started referencing Zoom. And I said on the show at the time, I said, the Zoom app's going to blow up. This is the virtual meeting solution that they are forcing on us. Even though it's not the only, they could have used Cisco, they could have used Slack, they could have used Microsoft. There was a bunch of others. They could have made the primary one. But now Zoom is the one that we use. We say Zoomin just like we say Googling.
Or Kleenex. When you say tissue, any tissue
Exactly.
is Kleenex.
Right. And it stock, it shot, it became so, like people who had stock in Zoom made so much money because it was artificially made the one that we were going to, it was founded by a Chinese American. I will say that. I don't know if that means anything. But
An American Chinese person.
Yeah, it could be whatever. I'd said at the time, I don't give financial advice, and nobody should ever take that from me, but I wish I had enough money right now that I could put a substantial part of it in this stock, because I would, and now I wish I would have put the little money I had at the time into it. And this Turo thing, to me, it's similar, even though they're being showcased in where it's like, hey, look at this app where both people rented a car to one commits suicide and the other murdered 12 people on the same day. That seems bad, but actually for Turo, this is actually good because, in my opinion, they've been selected to be the one to defeat all of the other competing peer-to-peer apps. Because these other peer-to-peer apps, I looked it up, they are all used, these car rental apps are all used to rent cars to commit crimes. It happens all the time, but you don't ever see them being mentioned in this way in any story. But you see it here, and Turo has been trying to go public since 2021, late 2021, and they haven't been able to. But what they did do at the end of September is, here, I'll show it to you. And this was, I knew that this was it to me when I saw this. That they're playing ball, they're the chosen one. They partnered in September of this year with Uber. Uber and Turo partner to share vehicles on Uber Rent. And you probably can't see that.
So this is when an Uber driver rents a car, they're renting it from a Turo owner. I think that's what this means.
Maybe.
Right?
Let me see.
Yeah, because there's a way, like these. Not every Uber driver uses their own car. They can rent the car.
Every terrorist doesn't use their own car either.
No, that would be silly to use your own car.
I tell you what, that's gonna. I don't think they're gonna get that truck back to the owner of that car. Washed it on time. I bet we do start seeing some no terrorist.
Well, the thing
disclaimers.
We're all this talk about Turo, and I think we're neglecting to really examine Airbnb's role in this.
Yeah, it's the same model.
Airbnb, it's where terrorist cells.
Yeah, it's where the terrorist cell, which he lit that on fire. I mean, this guy's terrible. He lit the Airbnb on fire. He kills people with this Turo car. He's going to get a very negative review.
Terrorists do the same thing to hotel rooms, apparently.
Right. Yeah, you got to put pets allowed, no smoking, no mass murder in this truck.
Yeah.
There's got to be a disclaimer. It says here on this press release that beginning in 2025, Uber will bring Turo's extraordinary selection of over 1,600 makers and mobiles of the Uber Rent platform. The partnership aims to unlock more opportunities for Turo hosts to turbocharge their businesses while enabling millions of Uber customers in the U.S., U.K., and Canada, Australia, blah, 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 to get behind the wheel of some of the newest and buzziest vehicles right before they blow themselves up inside of it.
Yeah.
It says...
But that's the main reason why you would use Turo. Well, one of the reasons why you might use Turo is you're going to go buy a high-end car, right? You're going to go buy.
You want to test it?
Yeah, you want to go. Yeah. You want to take it for a weekend. You want to see what's it going to do to my back, because you're going to be 60 years old when you finally buy a Corvette. So you want to know how it's going to treat your back, stuff like that.
Right. If I were the guy who owned that Tesla that they tried to blow up, I would advertise, see if you can blow it up. I would say, come ride in the same seat that the man who saved us from total annihilation
just rent it as is.
Killed himself in.
Rent the
blood stain still in place.
Yeah.
Jack up the price on that.
A terrorist experience.
Right.
A unique terrorist
a
experience.
First-person point of view experience, but you get a free pair of Meta Ray-Bans
Yep.
worn by another. Our partnership with Uber gives them a huge opportunity. I'd say turbocharge growth. So this is what I'm talking about. When they go, I'm not giving financial advice. I never would, but keep an eye on this. If you're in the stock market, if you know more than me, this might be something to. This is going to be even more popular than it already is, and it's one of the. Okay, it says speaking about the partnership. Uber's head of consumer vehicles says, by working together, we can further our shared goal of reducing private car ownership. And reducing private car ownership, you'll own nothing and you'll love it.
Yeah, this is what they want, man. Listen, I'm telling you, I've thought this for a long time. Instead of having private car ownership, what they want is for you to subscribe to one of their plans, okay? And here's how it's going to work. There's going to be, multiple tiered plans that you can get. Just like with Spotify or Netflix, but there's going to be a free plan. Okay. And that plan will not be ads-free. Here's how it's going to work. So you're going to get in your free Uber to commute to work, because that's the only option you'll have, because you won't be able to buy a car anymore.
Yeah.
And because you're on the free plan, you're going to work and you're running late, and all of a sudden it takes an exit. You're like, where the fuck are you going? And it's like, we're going for a detour, and it's going to stop outside of a gas station or Quick Trip 7-Eleven, and it's going to give you an opportunity, and it's going to give you a coupon to go in and buy a cup of coffee, and there's going to be an opportunity, and you're going to have to sit there and wait, and then it's going to get back on the road. But you're going to essentially have ads that you'll have
everywhere.
to go through.
What are they going to do when they add these things to the sex bots? Ads.
I just think it's, this whole idea of taking our cars away from us is obviously about controlling our movement.
Right.
You take away gas, it's way easier with electricity. The shutoff to lock us down is a lot faster. Gas, it's going to take a while. It takes a while for those gas pumps to run out of gas. People can stockpile it. It's going to take a while, right? But with electricity, it's instant control. Driverless cars, instant control.
Right. Klaus Schwab's got a control panel built into his watch.
Yeah.
He can turn off everything.
Your fucking shoes will have chips in them.
No, you're not wrong about that. But I think you're right. I think it's easier to track, and that's part of these stories is they were able to kind of track the routes because of these
what these
apps.
Progressive monsters want is they think total efficiency will save humanity, and the irony is that it will completely destroy it.
Right, because it turns everybody into just a piece of a machine.
Yeah.
Really. So, if that goes public, and
They're so stupid. They make me so mad.
It
really tests everything in me to not get violently angry at people who think this way.
It also, I agree with that. It also artificially crushes the competition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a collective effort by the president who's involved in it, and the major media companies, because they got on board with Uber, who's in bed with all of them, and this will probably effectively end all of the competition who do the exact same thing.
Right.
Free market. All right, get rid of that. We have a guest who, I'm really happy that he's here today. It's unexpected. Talking to us the day after the certification of the presidential election yesterday, which was the 2025th anniversary of the first January 6th. And welcome him in. Get rid of that. Mr. President.
Brad, Ian, Happy New Year, and I hope you had a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. We did. I hope you had a Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Oh, Happy Hanukkah to parts of my family, indeed.
What do you get him for Hanukkah? What's that like?
It's boggles and socks.
Brad, you might need to back out. Your
I'm going to pop out, and you guys keep going, and I'll
Did you say, what did you get them? What in socks, Mr. President?
Boggles.
Boggles, you mean the game?
Like the game and then some tchotchkes.
Yeah. How do you play the game Boggle? I haven't seen that in a long time.
Well, you got to press the plastic.
Plastic.
The dice shoot up.
Is that a Jewish game?
That's right.
If the Parker brothers are Jewish, then yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Did you say the Pucker brothers?
Parker.
Oh. Well, is there any
brothers.
Jewish themed things that you like to do for those to to show that you?
Oh, we have a big bowl of matzo ball soup.
Really,
we have Jared over
from Subway.
No,
Kushner.
Jared Kushner.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I don't know if you want to be bringing him around.
Yeah.
No. But I did it last time, and I'm going to do it again. I did bring back the $5 footlong in my administration, and it's going to come back again.
Well,
you mark my words.
Well, also, Mr. President, it might be an unpopular opinion to say this, but I think Subway's gone downhill since Jared's been in jail.
I have to see.
I think they've lost kind of their magic.
They've gone to cutting their meats.
It's not the
they
same.
cut their own meat now.
Is
I
it
know.
time to forgive Jared and
it's-
bring him back, Mr. President?
It's better meat without Jared.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Good. I was gonna say, I don't think we need to rehabilitate Jared, do we?
Yeah.
It's the quality, the
I
meat
mean, is the
quality.
meat fresh and young? Maybe we should get Jared to get his hands on some of that fresh young meat and cut it himself.
I think we're gonna leave Jared out of this one. Ian.
That's good, Mr. President. We tried to honeypot you there to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
you
we
to say
tried to
something
get you-
incriminating, and you
passed the test.
Yep. Very good. Because you're going to be getting a
know-
lot of that now that you're president.
Ian, I like how you said American Chinese. I
Yeah.
think why isn't America first? America
Yeah.
should be first. It should be American African, American Chinese.
That's right. That's right. And that's how I'm going to start saying it, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm please take that. You take that and just bring that to the world, please.
We have Jeff here says that Trump will never sniff your kids no matter
Never.
how people try to bait you. Like Lindsey Graham might probably bait you a lot. He also says they may not have had plastic older meat, which is what I kind of see Subway as. Nate says, what did the president have for Kwanzaa and Festivus celebration?
Well, we aired our grievances on Festivus.
Were there many this year?
Yeah. Tell us more.
Many grievances. I mean, we didn't have as many as we did in 2020. I'll tell you that's for sure.
Give us one or two and who they were directed at for you.
Well, mainly Jared for being Jewish. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke
Yeah.
because I'm a raging anti-Semite.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Are you
But,
being serious?
I said it was a joke.
Okay.
Are
Are you being serious?
No, I said it was a joke.
I just
people.
Drudge
people-
Report is reporting that
Yeah.
President Trump just admitted to being an anti-Semite and attacking his son-in-law Jared Kushner. It's right there on Drudge now.
Would you disavow anti-Semitism right now?
Would I disavow it?
Yeah. Do you disavow anti-Semitism?
I mean, can you disavow that though? Like,
Oh, I see. We see.
Look, George
yeah.
Report said President Trump refuses to disavow anti-Semitism.
Yep.
hate speech. It's not liked, but it's not illegal. And I'm a big First Amendment guy.
Mr. President, you're getting yourself in a lot of trouble here with some of these things that you're saying. How about you tell us what you did on Kwanzaa?
Well, we had some fried chicken, collard greens, some mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese.
Is that right, Mr. President? Just a traditional Kwanzaa.
And then for dessert, we had a big round watermelon.
Big round of okay, Mr.
Jeez.
President.
Wow, Mr.
Watermelon's
President.
delicious, I have to say. Jeff wants to
okay.
know what the news on Greenland is.
Well, it's going to be the 52nd country or state.
Wait, what's the 51st? Oh,
It's
Canada.
going to be Canada.
That's right. That's right.
Who's
Yeah,
going to be in
you
charge
know-
up there?
Whoever they elect the governor to be, but it's not going to be Trudeau.
What are you going to do with him now that he is no longer Prime Minister of
Don't have to
Canada?
do anything with him. He's a Nancy boy.
Right. He might be looking for work.
I'm not giving him a job.
Mr. President, your audio is fading in and out. I don't know.
Hold on. I tried to go up a notch and use a microphone. Is that better?
Yeah, it definitely.
much better.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I just have to hold it up a little bit more.
Nate
Got
says
some,
put,
got
put 'em
some
in
of
the
those
crystals.
beats. Got some of the beats.
Oh, nice.
Beats
Good
by
for you.
Dre.
Yeah, love that Dr. Dre. A lot of people
use,
forgot about Dre.
I use
never
Ditties.
forgot about him.
Yeah.
I use ditties.
Oh, you use ditties, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a big no ditty.
Those are very, very popular. I feel sorry for people who grew up and Diddy was their favorite rapper, Cosby was their favorite comedian, and their favorite philanthropist was Jeffrey Epstein.
I think Bill Cosby was set up, Brad.
Well, Bill Cosby did do some creepy stuff, okay? He did take a deal, and then they prosecute him after he took the deal, but that doesn't mean he wasn't drugging people.
Look,
And-
he was posing himself to be the first black owner of a television network, NBC, the biggest one.
Can you imagine being drugged by Bill Cosby, and then waking up with flashes of just him breathing over your face, panting heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine how
Can you
horrifying?
picture that, Mr. President?
I mean, have you ever hung out with Bill?
No.
That's what it's like hanging out with him.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you being like allowing that type of behavior.
To each their own, Brad. But I pulled him in close and gave him one hell of a handshake.
Mr. President, Greg thinks you've been drinking with some of this talk.
No, I'm not. I haven't been drinking.
Okay, Mr. President. So tell us what it was like to get the election certified yesterday without any disruption.
It was. I thought that something was going to happen. They still have about 12 more days or so. 12 more days to pull their last ditch effort out.
Do you think they will?
Well, you never know with the deep state, Brad. They're running scared. They're scared like they've never been before.
What are you going to do about this warning we've been given by the man who drove a Cybertruck allegedly to your hotel in Las Vegas, and not to threaten or hurt anybody, but simply to warn us about the threat posed by China and the anti-gravity aircrafts he says up there, to call our attention to it by blowing his
The
brains
gravitic
out.
propulsion.
Yeah.
drones.
Well, him and the guy from New Orleans, they both came out of Fort Bragg.
Yeah, they did.
And then the guy with the golf course shooter, he visited Fort Bragg something like 187 times.
Is that
Wow.
true? 187 times?
I might not have the numbers perfect, I'm paraphrasing, but from the reports I
Many
looked at,
times.
it was many times, a great number of times. Nobody's visited Fort Bragg like he visited Fort Bragg.
What goes on there? You think MK Ultra happens?
I'm
at
thinking
this-
MK Ultra is definitely happening at Fort Bragg.
Who do you think's behind it?
The deep state, the
Any doctors in
CIA.
particular?
You know how I feel about Sanjay Gupta, where
Yep.
you guys are in Atlanta.
I do.
Yeah.
He's at Grady.
He turns people
surprised
into,
if- And
he sews
lobster
body parts
people
onto
are
people, turns them into octopeople.
octa people. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Not
I
lobster
saw somebody
people.
leaving, crawling outside one of those bulletproof glass windows.
You
at
saw an
Grady recently.
octopod?
Yeah. Looked like a friend of ours that we did improv with named Jonathan a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Poor little
Oh
Jonathan.
yeah.
You know Jonathan.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh, you-
but I can imagine.
You can imagine Jonathan. Mr. President, I got a couple clips from Stephen Colbert pulled up. I haven't been watching him lately. I don't know what he's been talking about, but you want to see what his take on you has been of late? Are you interested?
Let's fire it up, Brad.
Also, really quick, congratulations on completing your insurrection, sir.
Oh well, they did it first.
Yeah.
How's Melania?
She's good. She's good.
Think I can take a shot at her?
I've got it written into my will.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President. I do appreciate that. And she approves.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She's a
Da-
big fan of the show.
Dana wants to know
She
if
listens
you,
every night.
if you plan on shooting down the UAP drones.
I think if people want to shoot them down, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Though.
It's
We'll
like
get
the
to
Wild
bottom of
West.
it.
Maybe you should put out a reward for these drones, sir.
That's a
We'll
good
see.
idea. You could give a menorah or some other Jewish item from Jared to whoever brings one in.
From Subway.
Yeah.
Jared from
Jared from
Subway.
Subway. All right, let's see. This is just a short thing Colbert did. I haven't seen it, but it says anniversary of January 6th, which, Mr. President, I was telling Ian earlier that I was saying that it's the 2025th anniversary of January 6th because it's very stupid that we call it January 6th like we call it 9/11 because very little happened on that
And
day.
I love how they'll just focus on this and ignore all of the violence that led up to this.
Yeah, we'd have a lot of days over that one summer that we'd be recognizing.
I mean, come on, an entire summer.
What are you
led
talking
up
about?
to this?
There was mostly peaceful protests.
Yeah.
I know.
Your boy
This is
George
a
Ford,
summer-
Mr. President.
summer of love.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Insurrection's a lot like real estate. It's all about location, location, location.
Bah. Yes, right. Here you go. Let's see what Colbert's
Today
got.
is the 4th anniversary of the violent attack on the Capitol, which President Trump has bizarrely called a day of love.
It was a day of love.
There was a beauty to it, and there was a love to it. They were there with love in their heart. There was love.
This January 6th, give her the perfect gift to commemorate that special day of love. A K diamond encrusted rubies. It's the most romantic way to make sure she never forgets those 3 little words.
Every coup begins with K.
Okay, so you see kind of the mild clapter to that.
Yeah. Coup
That's
begins with
because this is
C.
actually a funny troll gift that people who support you, Mr. President, might give each other.
I mean,
What do you think?
If people want to give each other gifts, I'm not going to stop them.
That laughter was not real. I'm sorry.
No.
No, I don't think anybody's laughing at them anymore.
Yeah. No.
I
This
think
is so
America spoke, gentlemen. That's what happened. The silent majority spoke.
Well, it's not so silent anymore, and some people are wondering. They're worried, Mr. President. You promised not to enter us into any new wars, but the fear is that you might pull a Woodrow Wilson, who won re-election in 1916, on the promise that he wouldn't pull us into World War I, only to 5 months later.
Get us in the world. Yeah, are you
Get
going
us
to get
right
us
in
into
there.
World War One?
Yeah, are you going to do that?
I mean, my goal is to end all these meaningless wars.
So you're not going to get
You know,
us involved
I
in World
ran
War
on.
One.
I'm not going to get us involved with World War One. If anything,
Okay.
I'm going to help resolve World War One.
Good. Good.
This
About
is
time.
still
It's
ongoing.
been a long
I'm
time.
sure. Let me show you this real quick, Mr. President. I'd love to get your take on this. If I can here. Did you see President Biden singing "Happy Birthday" the other day?
Oh yeah, I did. And then when they
Yeah,
get to the guy's name,
Yeah, I have to say, all
All
right. I got to say that's me every time they start doing group sing at Applebee's with "Happy Birthday." Or you're at a party, somebody brings you to, and you think you know the person's name, but you'd rather mumble it than get it wrong.
when I worked in restaurants, I just flat out would refuse to go sing birthday. I looked at managers and be like, "You're gonna fire me for not going? I'm not doing it. I'm just not gonna."
You ruined
Well, you
everybody's
know-
birthday.
I'm never gonna go sing happy birthday to you. I'm not
You
your
know,
fucking
there's
seal.
in a government vault somewhere, Ian. There's somebody burning a Chili's shirt.
Yeah. Well, I burned my Chili's shirt.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
I know.
that would be
video's
viral
somewhere.
if that would have happened today, Ian. When you quit
know.
Chili's and burned your shirt,
That would have been viral.
that would have been a viral moment today.
I know.
We were born
Standing
too
up
early.
against the patriarchy.
I was, man. I burned
Yeah,
my
you
shirts.
guys
for
should have
women's
been
lib.
born in the early 2000s.
We should be what's the generation that's
We
really
should
stupid?
be Gen Z.
We should be Gen Z.
Yeah. We would be amazing Gen Zers.
We would have nailed it. All right,
Or
so
no,
here
I
it
think
is.
is it Gen Beta? That's
Gen
not-
Beta's the new one.
Which is so fucking sad.
Yeah.
Like you got to be called Gen Beta.
I thought they were
interesting.
calling themselves Gen Alpha then.
No, Gen Beta's next. You see where this is going?
Mhm.
It's going all the
So
way to
Gen Alpha is what the 20-year-olds now.
Yeah, it's going to Gen
Yeah.
Omega, and
Gen
that's going to be the
Alpha,
last one.
Omega. Everything's falling apart.
You know, everybody knows Gen X.
Excuse me? You cut out again. Are you, Mr.
I
President?
said everybody knows Gen X was the coolest.
Are you on a helicopter now?
I'm in the beast.
You've all of a sudden entered the beast. So
Are you going to pick up some Subway? Get hungry
No,
with all that talk?
no, I'm not planning on picking up Subway. I'm trying to fix this thing as I'm driven around.
you eat a little healthier. I see. I want to show you and get your reaction to a few more things here. This is the song. And I think Biden does not look like he looks like a.
Who is this guy that they're celebrating?
It's a very uncomfortable young man, is what it looks like to me. I have no idea who he is.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Look how creepy it is the way he's staring.
Happy birthday. birthday to you.
That's the best, the way the kid laughs at it. I don't know who that kid is.
That guy,
kid
the
had
way
great timing.
that kid looked at Biden like he was just a silly old man. Like there's nothing, no respect.
Like
in
he's
that.
volunteering at an old folks home is what he's like. He's helping the old guy.
God, it's so sad. You
So-
actually start feeling bad for the guy.
Yeah, I can me too. Until I remember that he's kind of a terrible person.
Yeah, it's hard to remember that sometimes.
I haven't read this story yet. Dana says, "Don't grab the steering wheel. Don't try to rip it out of the hands of your Secret Service people." As
You know,
accused of
I
doing.
do that all the time. We do it for fun.
Just to see reckless about it. So, shocking images of woman 19 whose breast quadrupled after taking Pfizer COVID vaccine. Have you heard about this recent discovery, Mr. President?
No, I haven't. What was this?
I told people when they first started rolling this COVID vaccine out, I said, if you want to get certain groups of people who are hesitant, like conspiracy theorists, to take the vaccine, then you need to go create an account in Discord or 4chan or something, and you need to start leaking that people are getting superpowers from the vaccine.
Yeah, like the X-Men.
Like quadruple sized breast.
Yeah.
Or like the X-Men. But, not knowing this whole story, I'm going to show you what this is discovered here. It's fuzzed out. It's not up on there yet, so don't worry. It's not any nudity. It's just, this is a study that was just published in a medical journal. And this girl's breast increased 4 sizes, and she had to get a reduction because of the COVID vaccine. And a lot of guys joke around about that, but it
How
doesn't
many
just.
times did she take it?
I don't know. Maybe she. That's a good question. Yeah, how many times did she take it?
How many times did she take it?
Let's see.
And did she shoot it directly into her breasts?
You know, that's a really good question. That's a very good technical medical question, Ian.
Thank you. I was studying to be a doctor before I went to community college.
She got 2 course shots. Within 6 months after getting 2 shots, she went from a B cup. She went from a B cup to a G cup within 6 months of getting 2 shots.
Wow.
Now I'm not sure how many this
Was it
person.
Moderna? Pfizer?
It's Pfizer, I think.
Pfizer was the one it seems like a lot of people had the most trouble with, right?
I thought that was Johnson & Johnson.
No, it was a Johnson & Johnson, you're right.
Yeah, that was Pfizer, and I can't tell you how many. Because this is not the only person that this happened to. This young woman. It also happened to somebody that we all know and we all love. It happened to Brian Stelter.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You see
Wow.
that?
He's got very
I
strong...
thought he'd have better hips than that.
Why?
you
Why
did?
would you think that?
I just thought they'd be more childbearing.
Wow. No, I never thought about him that way. I will have to say this. He's wearing that 2-piece with confidence.
I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to do it with
You got to
confidence.
flaunt it, yeah. What would you, Mr. President?
Oh, no, I'm not hawk doing that.
Well, always something to consider. But it's good to see Brian out there not hiding from the side effects of his COVID vaccine, because he would be a hypocrite if he were to go and reverse the impact that it had on him. All right. I want to show you this. So this is like the easiest account to notice a fake Twitter following on. I noticed this the other day. You guys remember Chris Kaliza? He was a CNN propagandist for a while. He's been trying to get active on Twitter lately, and I noticed a post of his pop up that had like 9 likes and had been up for like 4 days. And so I went over to his page and saw that he has 590,000 followers, over 500,000 followers.
How?
And yet, despite having 500,000 followers, here's a post of his from January 1st that has just 9 likes. and one retweet, and a couple of us are harassing him on it. But this is what a paid for X following looks like, because you can buy many followers on X, but it will be noticeable because there will not be any engagement and reactions.
Those are all bots.
Right. You can actually. There's a better way to trick the system on X, and that is to pretend to be a character, someone else that would get far more followers in your target market than you would. And then once you build up that following, you then switch your name and handle, and they don't know any difference because you're playing to the same audience.
So it has to be the same audience.
Right. So you pretend to be a Liberty Thought and show naked pictures of a girl, whether you know her or they're fake, wrapping herself around, wrapping one of those flags with the snakes on it, and you say guns and Second Amendment, and you get a bunch of dudes who will continue to follow you when you delete all that history and then go back and put your male persona online. That is one way that people build up a following on X.
So is he wearing a skin suit for these photographs?
No, we can't. We can't talk any names here. We'll be accused of doxing, so we're not going to do that.
No, skin suit.
No, I don't know. I did see one of those skin suits of Emma Watson recently. Did you see that? She was. This is a really old video too. See if I can find it. So it's like it's not the 5-minute mask, but it's just like these face mask. It's creepy. Oh. I can't find what it is, but it's like a mask you pull over your head. It looks like it's made out of.
Oh, the 5-minute mask?
Stock. It's not the 5-minute mask. It looks like it's made out of stocking, but.
Is it the 5-minute mask?
No, I don't think so, Mr. President. But it looks exactly like the person, and then you pull it off. It's crazy. And the video I saw was like 10 years old. Mr. President, it's not the 5-minute mask. Those are actually kind of shitty.
It was the tweeter. Who was the tweeter again?
Who was what? It was Chris Kaliza. He used to bash you all the time on CNN. He just makes
Gesundheit.
Thank you. All right, so here's Colbert's set. We'll watch a few minutes of it, and we'll get out of here. Okay. Unless you got to go, I just realized what time it is.
No. After this, I got to go.
Okay, we'll do a couple minutes of it, and we'll go.
Where you going?
Welcome.
Just got to get up, dude.
Got to get up, bro.
It's not like me and you, Mr. President.
Yeah, all I need is 3-4 hours of sleep, and I'm good.
Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and it is good. That's good. I missed that. That's nice to hear. It's good to be back. I missed everybody. Yeah, I know. Today is January 6th, which, of course, is the Feast of the Epiphany. When the three wise men, say it with me, Balthazar, Gaspar, and Melchior, followed a star to Bethlehem, then stormed the manger and stole Mary's podium. What else?
So that like, just as a stand-up.
I think that those were demon names that he mentioned.
It was way too much thinking for a joke. It's
way too much thinking, and you've got to be Catholic to understand any kind of Feast of the Epiphany, any kind of that kind of. It's just weird.
The last signal is steal the podium. They don't understand any of the rest of it. Thank you, Cole Ball. So somebody asked here on, I think it's Greg. No, it wasn't Greg. It was Wild Bill is wondering if that COVID vaccine trick with the breast works on dicks. I'm not sure.
I can tell you it does not.
No matter how many times you try.
I have put that COVID vaccine right into my dick.
Right.
It will not get any bigger.
But your dick will develop myocarditis.
I've tried multiple doses. I mean, we're talking about 15, 16 doses.
Right.
Have you tried Blue Chew, though, Ian?
That works, but not to get it bigger. But it doesn't.
Are you on a erectile dysfunction medication, Mr. President?
I popped all kinds of stuff like that.
Really? Just.
You're a pillhead? You're like a pill popper? Is that your thing?
Well, when it comes to keeping it going, I am.
Huh.
So is this a daily routine, or just you see it and you pop it?
You get a Blue Chew, and Melania ordered it for me.
Really?
And I take care of her.
Really?
Blue Chew.
Continue. Go a little further. This is an ad for Blue Chew, so tell us some details.
You know, when she first got it for me, this little black man beside me was like, "Where'd you get that Blue Chew? Where'd
Wait
you
a
get
minute,
that Blue Chew?"
He was in the bedroom with you
And then
guys?
he ran off.
What?
Well, you back up for a second. Where was the little black man?
That was in the Blue Chew ad.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
but you
guys
brought
gotta
him to the
watch
White
more
House.
television with commercials.
Yeah.
Or YouTube. Not that YouTube Red. You need the commercials.
So you get that Blue Chew.
Yeah, how else would you know? McDonald's has got a deal going
I
on.
tell you what, I wouldn't need any Blue Chew if I had a little bit of Melania there, Mr. President.
Well, you know, biology might say different sometimes. Yeah.
I guess you might be right about that. Let's let Colbert continue.
What else? Oh, yeah. Today, Donald Trump's electoral victory was certified by Congress.
Boo.
Yes, I used to feel things too. And the striking thing about this time was how
Who is the one guy laughing into the microphone?
That was his musician, that's his job.
They keep acting like this was almost the end of the fucking country. It's so
democracy
annoying.
was on the line.
It's like someone who, I don't know, they fell and they bumped their arm, you know, and they keep acting like their journey back from healing from this bruise has been the triumph of their life. I mean, they're making the meaningful.
The bruising hasn't even begun.
I know. They're just they're trying to make so much meaning out of this stupid little riot.
And it is the end of the world as they know it.
Are you going to go after them, Mr. President? Is that what you're saying?
It is the end of the world as they know it. And
Are you
it's
gonna
going to be
kill
the
them?
beginning of the America that we all dreamed about.
What are you going to do to your enemies, Mr. President, once in office?
Well, you know, there's going to be the parade, Brad.
You're going to march the 75-year-old feminists.
Hold your breath. Hold
Yeah.
your breath. It's not coming, but it's coming.
Right.
The parade's coming.
You're going to bring out RFK?
RFK's already been brought out.
No, that's Junior. I mean, who's supposed to be your VP again?
Oh,
I
you're
forget.
talking. Look, you're getting too into the. You're getting too in the turducken of Q.
I just can't figure out which Kennedy's supposed to still be alive.
See, you're a QAnoner, which there's
Yeah.
a difference between QAnon and Q.
Yeah, you know so many fine details of these theories and culture. It's very impressive, Mr. President.
Well, I mean, I was a big part of the whole Q movement, Brad.
Really?
I was like the central focal point if you didn't follow it.
Did you spend a lot of time on 8chan?
Plus.
Okay. Well, my thing with Colbert here is, how do you tell that joke without just feeling like a big pussy?
I mean,
I used to feel
Colbert's
something.
a huge pussy.
It's just,
how normal it was again. There was no riot. No one broke a window with their beard.
oh, this year.
In fact, the whole process took only 30 minutes. Yeah, democracy
That was
shouldn't
an
take
edit.
longer than it takes Rachel Ray to make a meal. Peace.
That was an edit. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Well, you know, they were stealing an election at the same time then, so that's why it took so much longer.
All right. Well, I just wanted to see if Colbert had shifted gears at all.
Oh, come on, Brad. You know they stole it.
He's learned nothing. He'll learn nothing. It's very sad.
2020.
You're
I
talking
think
about-
you should make overturning the 2020 election your top priority.
You're
for your
talking about
administration.
Brad. I know it's sad, Ian.
No, I was talking about Colbert, sir.
Yeah, Colbert. Now, see, some of these guys have shifted a little. They backed off, but the late night guys haven't. You know, not like the
yeah,
Hollywood
like,
article we went through. Ian, these
Like
guys
that
are still
chubby British guy. I love him now.
really. Is he in the Blue Chew room with you and Melania?
No, Brad. Don't be ridiculous. It's just the black boy.
What chubby British guy?
Yeah.
The Morgan Pierce.
Who's that?
Piers Morgan? You call him chubby?
Yeah, he's chubby.
All right. I don't know if I'd describe him as chubby.
What would you describe him as?
Average.
Cherubic?
I wouldn't describe. He doesn't seem like he's that overweight to me. Like I
Faggy?
don't look at Piers just.
I think you're thinking of somebody different. I think you're thinking of a short little guy who was in Cats.
No. But he's funny.
You think that guy's
Fierce-
funny?
Yeah, he's kind of funny.
It's interesting.
He's not that, you know.
He's a
that-
British
that
guy.
type. Yeah, there's some British people that I
Are
like.
you working with the British, Mr. President?
I mean, we're always working with the British.
Is he American British?
Oh,
That's a
no,
good
I don't
question.
think he's American British. But it's
Yeah.
Pierce Morgan. That's what I'm talking
It's
about.
British American.
No, we
Pierce
don't do
Morgan
British.
really learned his lesson and is singing a different tune.
All right, Mr.
know,
President.
He's singing a Star Spangled tune is what it sounds like to me.
Well, I appreciate you joining us, Mr. President. I know you've had a long day, and I know you have a lot to do before the 20th. Are you worried about anything happening on your inauguration day? Or is there anything special that we should expect to happen?
Well, you know, I guess we'll have to see. We're going to be bumping up security, that's for sure.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be like January 20th, 2017.
Yeah.
When leftists destroyed property, injured 6 police officers, and did all kinds of riots and stuff that we will never ever forget, right?
Or January 20th of 808, when Abraham and an army of his disciples stoned a prostitute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about BC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
I think so.
808
Get them mixed
BC.
up. So, okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Ian. Thank you for
Of course.
hanging out a little bit later.
It's fun to be back. Can't wait.
It
to
was
see you
it was
next
fun
week, man.
to play around a little bit to get back in and flex some muscles, and we're
gonna
going
be
to be doing a
sore
lot of stuff
tomorrow.
this year. Yeah, hell yeah. Mr. President,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
forward to having you on the show, and glad that you will be here joining us throughout your presidency.
Oh, it's going to be
And-
a hot time in a cold town. I'll tell you that's for sure.
Yeah, looking to bring Colbert's a moron, says Greg. Looking forward to bringing the Biden and the Biden, body doubles back on the show. If you guys budding friendship, we can explore some more.
Well, maybe we can get Biden to sing you happy birthday on June 9th.
Yeah, that's you remembered, Mr. President. You remembered, Mr. President.
Well, I just celebrated. I heard him.
He was there. He was there.
Where'd he go?
I don't know where the hell he went.
He's like a ghost.
Wow, that's great. It's amazing.
They should, if they reboot Poltergeist series, they need to cast Biden as that creepy preacher.
Oh yeah, the little woman.
Yeah.
That little woman.
Carol Ann, I'm your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your friend, Carol Ann.
They could also do like 2 Bidens as the little girls from The Shining.
That I would love. I would help produce that movie if we could make that happen. Who would play the father?
You could do that as
An
with
AI
your-
movie?
with your AI technology,
That's
Brad.
a good
and
idea.
all those politicians kissing each other pictures. you make. Love to see those politicians kiss each other. Oh, have you done AOC and
I did one with AOC and Nancy Mace on a mattress in a bathing suit next to a dumpster. That was some guys appreciated that one.
that sounds hot.
That's a very good idea, though. I'll see if I can find one of those AI movie makers and see what we can do. All right. Thanks,
All
guys.
you gotta do is
See-
make an image in the hallway with them holding hands in that little blue dress.
I'll have to call you later, and you can help describe it for me. You know the movie better than I do.
I know it really well. I know that pop culture.
Yes, you do. All right, guys.
I know
Follow
it
Ian to
like
fight.
Ian does.
Follow Ian.
Happy birthday, Ian.
Happy birthday, Ian.
Thanks. I appreciate it, guys.
Just had a birthday on the 2nd, January 2nd, right? Ian Covell on X. We're both experimenting with ways to expand our reach on X without being complete douchebag manipulative dicks. So
Give us a follow.
follow us there.
Yeah.
And Action Show Studios for Mr. President. We will talk to you guys next time. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks for joining us and chatting with us. See y'all later.